From the Classic 107 studios in downtown Winnipeg, 107 Live for Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.
Doug Edmond, he's been around Winnipeg for a long time. Not saying his age, but he's been around Winnipeg for a long time. Independent roots, adult, alternative singer-songwriter. Plays piano, keyboards, mouth harp, guitar. He plays guitar. He plays guitar and vocals, but he's just playing the keyboards and vocals today. And he plays his baby grand at home. Joining him, we've got a trio surrounding him there. We got Mitch Dorge on the drums, Alasdair Dunlop on the bass, Bill Spornitz on the saxophone, and they're here to play some music for us this morning. A little bit of Christmassy music, I suppose. So good morning to you guys. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Hey, good to see you, Michael.
And good to see you. This is a different venue for us. We've been knowing each other for...
We always look good on radio.
Well, you know, it's being videotaped right now, so you can't get away with saying something like that, right? All right.
You bet.
Okay, so what you're going to start out with some music before we chat a little bit more this morning. What do you got?
Well, we're going to do a song called Logan Street as a start off. It's a song that I wrote during December, but it's a little bit more about a kind of a small jazz club on a street called Logan Street.
All right, let's pretend we're in a small jazz club right now. Here we go.
Sax player playing like a whistle on a lonely train. It felt like the taxi driver thought I was insane. But the drums, they sounded like a choir, keeping warm by the outdoor fire. And you know, I wanna go back down Logan Street. Wanna go back down to Logan Street. There's a little jazz club there, it makes you tap your feet. It's a place where the keys always sound so sweet. Wherever you happen to go, send those shivers out to your toes. I wanna go back down to Logan Street. Wanna go back down to Logan Street. Felt like those angels had come just to save me. In spite of all the things I'd done in misery, but the moon was hanging so low, the stars were saying don't go, but you know, I wanna go back down to Logan Street. We gotta go back down to Logan Street.
There you have the Doug Edmond Quartet on Birchwood Jaguar 107 Live. Doug is the singer there and keyboard player. Got Alasdair Dunlop on the bass. Mitch Dorge is playing the box in the corner over there, the drums. And on the saxophone, Bill Spornitz. Great tune. Love that song. Which album does that come from of yours?
That comes from the most recent CD called Skipping Stones.
Skipping Stones. You got 3 CDs out, correct?
I do.
I have them all in
3
front of
CDs
me.
out.
Between the Shadows and the Light, and then you got a Christmas one called Starry Nights. And Skipping Stones is a new one. So tell me, Doug, we've known each other for a little while. I don't know much about your background in terms of when you got into music and stuff. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, that's an interesting story in and of itself. Music's always been
Keep
a
it clean.
part of my life. But my partner, Julie, actually, when I was about 50, said, you got to stop just playing in this dark room in the living room. Be nice if you just played somewhere. So she ended up booking me at a small little club that now is Infernos on Academy. And the guy behind me was the first person to join in, but I recall a conversation at the squash club with Mitch where he said, well, I'll play with you if you would like. And I said, oh, no, I'm not ready for that kind of thing. And I went out and played solo, and I think I should have taken up the offer. I did that the next time. And from there, it ended up being that as we started getting going, we ended up adding a guitarist named Ruben Katarovich.
Yep.
And then we added this fellow over here, Alasdair Dunlop, on bass, and Bill was the most recent addition. But I think we've been playing together for almost 10 years now.
Mm-hmm. You guys have quite a diverse musical background as well, huh? What's your musical background, by the way? When did you start taking piano?
I originally, you said guitar in there. Actually, I just fool around on the guitar.
Yeah.
The instrument that I started with was flute, and I did a lot of things with that darn instrument, musically, that is.
Yeah.
For instance, I did a fair number of commercials. I don't know if you remember, the one that I love the most is Happy Outdoorsman used to be on St. Mary's, used to sell canoes and things like that, and I was called into the studio. I can't remember which studio it was, but basically I had to do a flute riff every time the radio guy like you said Happy Outdoorsman. And it was a difficult thing to do, given the fact that it didn't really fit with the music that we were playing. But it worked out, and we signed off. We all got paid, and we never got the residuals on that. And that commercial played every night after the news.
Was that you on the Hinterland Who's Who one as well? Do you remember those commercials?
No, it's not me on the Hinterland Who's Who.
Otherwise, you'd be retired right now on that one. So what about
the way things are going? I don't think so.
So what about jazz? Like, is it something you've always been interested in?
Always been interested in jazz. On the keyboards, even as in young and high school, we would always go out to the Assiniboine on Portage there. I can remember as a young flute player waiting for your turn to play with the old guys that basically would say, who's this guy? I mean, come on, he's not even of age. And they would let you play. And it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
The flute players that you just loved, I remember when Herbie Mann came to Winnipeg way back.
That hairy chest, yeah.
And all he could say was, you're probably wondering why a guy my age is still performing. He says, well, ask my 4 previous wives.
I won't ask you why you're still playing. But anyway.
I'm playing because I enjoy it.
You're playing because you enjoy it. You got a great group of musicians as well. I know I've known Alasdair for a little while through the Winnipeg Jazz Festival. And I've known Mitch from the squash courts of the Winnipeg Squash Club.
And certainly from a number of the bands that he's been in.
Yeah, from the Crash Test Dummies. Yeah, I recognize that band. Yeah. But I knew him, I think, just around the same time. Were you playing squash, Mitch, around that same time?
Absolutely.
He's been playing. He still is. That's better than me. I'm not playing squash anymore. But anyway,
you've maintained a hairline.
I have? Thank you for saying that.
Something like that.
Thank you for saying that.
But I'd be remiss in not mentioning that we're in the studio right now doing a new CD.
Yeah.
And certainly it's the guys that are in this room, plus a number of other great Winnipeg musicians that usually come to the fore and make it into something that's way beyond what I ever thought it could be. And cool. Mitch ends up and has been my producer for these 3 CDs, and he'll be the producer on this one. And it's just it's a marvel to me. We're still enjoying that, and the music isn't so much about a profit-making center, but it's more about expressing yourself and supporting what you're doing right now, supporting live music in the city of Winnipeg.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that. That's awesome. I know you guys you perform at Inferno's like on Academy
Every first Friday of the month. We're always there, and
first Friday of the month.
We were there last Friday, and it was just a marvelous night. I think the combination of what Chris is doing as the owner there, with a lot of the musicians in town every Tuesday and Friday night, it's just a great support for live music in the city.
Yeah, on Academy. I've been there a number of times, so I love it.
One other thing, this fellow over here, we got up very early. I've been doing a lot of concerts in care, where you go out to care homes and perform for our seniors, and it's a marvel to see the difference what live music will make than just that sense of music that's going on. And we were at Ashern and then drove 3 hours to Lac-du-Bonnie last Thursday. And the Lac-du-Bonnie group at 3 in the afternoon was pretty lively. There was an elderly lady in a wheelchair moving around quite well to a few of the tunes. And then after one tune, Alasdair's very stationary as a bass player. And she came over and leaned into him very closely and said, "Man, have you got rhythm." And it was beautiful. It was just one of those beautiful experiences where you went, this is why we drive and go out there. And that's a marvelous program that's supported out of our provincial government.
And that's and that's on the side, by the way, because you have a full-time job, I think. Yeah, that's
Take a holiday, go for a drive, play some music.
That's the way to do it. Well, play us more music. You're listening to the Doug Edmond Quartet here on Birchwood Jaguar 107 Live. You got another tune for us. What's lined up?
Next song is more of a Christmas tune. It's a song called Who Am I? I wrote it in December back in 2008, but it's a song about being thankful for everything that you have in your life.
Amen.
There you go. Thanks, Bill.
Very tasty. Very nice. Very nice. Doug Edmond Quartet. Doug Edmond there playing the keyboards and singing. On the bass, Alasdair Dunlop. Drums, Mitch Dorge. And on the saxophone, Bill Spornitz. Soprano sax?
That's a curved soprano, yeah.
Yep, there you go. Doug Edmond Quartet. They've got 3 CDs out. You can get them all at McNally Robinson. They've got Between the Shadows and the Light. There's Starry Night, Skipping Stones. And they're working on a brand new one as well. So keep an eye out for that one coming your way soon. Doug?
Thank you, Michael, for this, and all the best of the season to you and your family, and to all the people that are out there listening to us this morning. Thanks for the opportunity, man.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Great to have you guys in. Thanks again.
107 Live is Classic 107's intimate concert series, brought to you by Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.